I'd like to introduce you to two of my new little friends. This is Carl, and this is Brenda. Now, normally these recreations are referred to as Ken and Barbie. I'm sure you recall that. But since I bought them at a discount store, I thought it was more honest to call them Carl and Brenda. I've asked Carl and Brenda to join me today to share, or at least in their case, listen, to what I have to say on the issue of the present predicament and the ongoing struggle between men and women. Shall we entitle our little conversation, Women Are Not the Booby Prize? Yes, Carl, ever since you were just a small pile of hot liquid plastic waiting to be thrown into the mold, you probably were instructed that women had to be cajoled, begged, and even tricked into allowing their bodies to be used by you as a temporary exercise machine for your pleasure. And you also were probably told that she's the weaker sex, which, by the way, is only true if you plan on smacking her and killing her, or if a 50-pound bag of feed needs to be carried to the barn to slop the hogs. Other than that, women are not the booby prize, and they're not the weaker sex. And you, Brenda, oh, don't sit over there and act so damn innocent. If you have become convinced that you only have prize in your boobies, then you are probably just as guilty as Carl here in generating the worst misunderstanding in all of creation, next to figuring out what in the hell is the purpose of quicksand. Well, let me go back to you, Carl. You are not a tiger or a lion who must track down your mate like prey on the great savannah in Africa so that you might impregnate her through your sexual prowess and there proving to all your other lion buddies when you get back to the den that your kicked and back stories that you are truly a masterful stud. No, that's not your goal. And Brenda, I must tell you that if you're willing to lay down like a hapless animal and be poked without pleasure under some guise that you are to submit to the male of the species, then you're no better off than some female cat screaming from the backyard complaining about being penetrated. You see, what I thought was interesting was that when I bought the pair of you, yes, Carl and Brenda, at no place on the receipt did it say male doll and female doll. Just doll. See, I have a confirmation. Right there on that receipt that I bought 2 dolls. It's much the same with the human race. The distinctions we make between men and women were not envisioned by the Creator, who basically dubbed the both humans. Sometimes men and women may have different jobs, but on most occasions we're supposed to be cooperating with one another, loving one another, and creating the mixture of science and spirituality that proves positively that you can make a little heaven on earth. There will be those who will be upset that I didn't show up gaily with 2 Carl dolls or 2 Brenda dolls, but perhaps that's for another time. Today, just let me start with the 94% of the earth which takes non-matching parts and completes puzzles. Women are not a booby prize. They are not to be prized more than men. They're not required to be pretty, just as men are not demanded to produce handsome. We're in this together. Do you understand, Carl? How about you, Brenda? And though I never will play with you again, and I swear that to my listening audience, May you for all time represent the fact that when the toy maker made the toys, they looked an awful lot alike. Yet the toy maker didn't add private parts. You see, God does have some really great ideas.